Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are talking about pressing, what we call aggressive defending in FC24. Pro players defend aggressive in a certain area of the pitch for some reasons which we're gonna see in this video, so without wasting much time let's jump into it. Are you tired of matching up against overpowered squads? Visit u7buy.com for cheap and safe FC coins on the market. Remember to use the discount code DRFC for 6% off, check the link in the description. This defending type you have to use it in the opponent's half, even though you can still defend aggressively everywhere on the pitch. But I think in FC24 it's so risky to defend aggressive everywhere, so here I'm gonna teach you how to press in the opponent's half. And first of all you have to choose a right formation if you want to press the opponent aggressively. You need that formation with wingers and at least two midfielders. These types of formations makes it easy for your defenders to position in every area of the pitch where the ball can reach. So get that formation with wingers and we start from here. Now let's see what is needed to defend aggressively, the defending mechanics you have to master. The first mechanic is the jockey. Here we shall not talk much because this type of defending is advanced, meaning you have to use it only if you're sure your jockey system is good. You know when to fast jockey, and when to slow jockey. Then we have sprinting and that's where we have to start from. I know jockey is good and the most powerful way to defend, but when defending aggressively, and most especially in the opponent's half, you have to sprint a lot. The reasons, in the opponent's half, he will always have large open spaces, so here if you overuse the jockey system, then you will move too slow, giving the opponent time to set himself and take the next step. But when you sprint, here you cover enough space and reach in time, giving the opponent less time to react. Another one is that, when building up, most of the times and by default we use our center backs and fullbacks. These players have low dribbling and passing skills, they are too slow most especially center backs, so when you sprint, the opponent will have less time to think and take action, and if he delays, that last moment he will have no time to change direction, or pass the ball because this player is slow. Another mechanic is the defender movement. You have to move your defender in an aggressive way, and that's sprinting, or jockey in a diagonal movement. This trick you can cover multiple options. For example, you can press that ball holder, at the same time cover the open space, and here the opponent will feel like the pitch is small. Or you can cut that passing lane, and at the same time approaching that ball holder. Another one is to cut forward passing lanes. When you're defending aggressive in the opponent's half, don't give away these open free forward passes to his players, try to close them and give him hard time to move forward. And when you close these passes, you delay the opponent's attack. Here he gets stuck in his half trying to break through your pressure. So prioritize these open passes where necessary. Another mechanic is the right stick switch. Let's be real guys, you can't press if you still have problems using the right analog switch, because here you have to switch between different players and weird angles. You have to apply pressure from different angles, which means right stick switch is the best defense mechanic in the press concept. Another one is the second man press. You have to use this in two ways. When double pressing, applying pressure from different directions at the same time to a single opponent's player with the ball. Then another way is to keep the pressure on the opponent's ball holder, as you manually cut passing lanes. This works so well and here you keep the press very effective. Another mechanic is the tackle. In the opponent's half, even if you mistime your tackles, it's less risky than around your box, and that's why you have to press the tackle button when your player is near the opponent's player. As you sprint towards that player, get close and press the tackling button, even if you don't win the ball, but it put more pressure on the opponent's player. Another mechanic is the offside trap. The main purpose is to push your defense line high up the pitch. Here your fullbacks can automatically mark the opponent's wingers and hence giving him less options, or that immediate pressure if he attempts that pass. Offside trap, you double tap the down arrow on D-pad, you press down 2 times to activate it. Last mechanics are somehow logical, and the first is to press in teams formation. Try to press the fullbacks using your wingers. Try to press the center backs using your strikers, and also try to close the open passes towards the opponent's midfielders or strikers using your midfielders. Here you're maintaining that team shape solid. There is no much space for the opponent's AI players to create passing options or runs. And it also helps to use switch players consistently with less errors using the right analog switch. Another logic and important one, anticipation. When we talk about anticipation, the sense to gamble and predict the opponent's next move, like pass or dribbling. You have to always scan the pitch and look for the opponent's options and deal with them. That's not enough, but that quick reaction and being steps ahead of your opponent is the key to defend aggressive. You have to see that option and quickly react and close it. Here you can apply that pressure very effective and consistently, because you're seeing the future of the scenario before it even happens. Most especially when the opponent switches sides, you have to always see this coming and quick select your winger and press that player on the wing, because switching sides in FC24 is the most common and effective way to escape pressure, but when you react quick enough, the opponent's switch of side will be less effective. Pressing is good especially in the opponent's half. 1. You give the opponent hard time to build up. As he struggles to build up, it affects him mentally and he tries to adapt to a different playstyle of keeping everything safe, which slows his game and he becomes submissive. Now you're the superior dictating the tempo of the game. 2. It's a quick way to counter-attack, because when the opponent loses the ball in his half, here some players are out of positions and himself is not mentally ready to defend the situation. So you take that advantage and create yourself chances and score. Before we conclude with explained examples, you have to understand these two tips. 1. Risk versus reward. When defending aggressive in the opponent's half, if the opponent manages to break that press, then you are vulnerable for a counterattack, but still you can defend this counterattack. When you defend aggressive and you realize the opponent has managed to pass your 4 midfielders, then here you have to take it safe and defend normally, which means the opponent still have to beat this back 4 and create something, and so the risk is low. The reward, you have already understood it. You can create a quick counterattack if you manage to win that ball back. Second is trust. You have to trust your decision making while defending like this, and if you make some mistakes, try and record that clip and re-watch it later. Here you can improve because pressing takes time to master. So let's finalize with 2 examples. In this example, as I'm sprinting to press this fullback, the opponent passes to his center back, and as you see I have already switched to my striker and try to press this center back. But as he controls the ball, I changed my running direction and cover this open pass. The opponent remains patient and turn away to keep the ball safe. In this position I anticipate him passing to this fullback, so I selected my winger and be ready to press that pass, but as soon as he faces this direction, it shows that the options on this side are no longer considered, so the focus is on the opposite side of the pitch. This pass is open, and so I use the L1 and switch to my striker because he's near the ball holder. Then I use the right analog switch and select the second striker. Here I want to press this player as soon as he receives the ball. I'm trying to press basing on the positions of my players according to the formation I'm using. As I'm sprinting towards this player, I use the second man press, just to keep this striker applying pressure to this center back, as I manually close up this defender. But the opponent detects the situation and decides to switch sides to escape the pressure. And as you see, before even the ball leaves the defender's feet, I have already selected my winger, though here you can't see him. When you use this mini map you can see this fullback free, so I switch to this winger and pull him towards that fullback. When I'm sprinting I use the offside trap. The aim is to push my defense line high up the pitch. The opponent feels the pressure and tries to head the ball to his winger, but my fullback is too close and I win the ball. Last example, here it's a goal kick. As you see I'm already sprinting towards the opponent's center back because I'm sure he's the first pass of the build-up, so before even receiving the ball I switch to the striker and mark the center back. Now you're asking yourself why this center back and not this fullback. So here I run with my striker diagonally just to create a feeling in the opponent's mind that my striker is pressing from this direction, and I know he will not consider that side, and that's why I select this player and mark this option. Still using the second press to press and at the same time dealing with passing options. As the opponent passes I make some mistakes in my player switches. As I'm marking this passing option, I quickly realize that the opponent will understand the situation and try to pass to this fullback, which I am very right at this moment. But I doubt my decision and try to switch back to this striker thinking that he will pass to this center back. That's why I press this tackle for that immediate pressure. And that's the reason why I told you to trust your decision making. So here I managed to regain control of my winger. As you see high up the pitch, mistiming of tackles is less risky. So here the opponent has this big space. I first switch to my fullback to make sure that this pass to the opponent's winger is closed, then I switch back and chase the opponent's player diagonally, covering space and also applying pressure. And as he's sprinting, this pass to his winger open up, but since he made this heavy touch, I step in and win the ball back. So that's it for today, thanks for watching.